Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I want to begin today with our land acknowledgement. The Forest Preserves of Cook County acknowledges that we are on the lands of the Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi, as well as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Sauk, Mishwaukee peoples. As a land management agency, we acknowledge that we've played a role in shaping the histories of local Native Americans by acquiring this land. We also recognize, share, and celebrate their immemorial ties to this land. We commit ourselves to developing deeper partnerships that advocate for the progress, dignity, and humanity of the many diverse Native Americans who still live and practice their heritage and tradition on this land today. I want to thank everyone who has joined us, especially Cook County Commissioner Frank Aguilar, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District President Kari Steele, Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Commissioner Kim Dubuclet, Illinois Department of Natural Resources Assistant Director John Rogner, and of course our Superintendent Arnold Randall. We're here today to officially cut the ribbon on a new canoe launch at, how do you say this?
We are at Schuth Grove.
Okay, I should have asked beforehand, huh? Schuth Grove. Now, I asked, it's S-C-H-U-T-H. Not exactly clear how you're supposed to say it. Schuth Grove. Okay, the latest of 9 locations in the Forest Preserves of Cook County where you can put a canoe or kayak in for paddling on the Des Plaines River. This covers more than 30 miles of water from Columbia Woods in Willow Springs up to Allison Woods near Northbrook. This location fills in a 5-mile gap in our set of launches on the Des Plaines between Maywood Grove at Lake Street and Plank Road Meadow at Ogden. For beginner paddlers or someone who wants a shorter trip, this option to launch or get ashore means new opportunities for kayaking or canoeing here in central Cook County. Schuth Grove is also the latest Forest Preserves canoe launch that includes design features like a paved path with gentle slopes to the landing and a stable and firm surface all the way to the water's edge. This makes it easier for everyone to get in or out of the water. And for visitors with disabilities, these features might be the difference between being out in a kayak or staying at home. At the Forest Preserves, we've made a commitment to increasing and improving accessible amenities like this canoe launch. The nearly 70,000 acres of forest preserves in Cook County are an amazing resource that belongs to all of us. Everyone should be able to enjoy its benefits of being outside in the natural world. Our planners and recreation staff have been meeting with paddling enthusiasts to talk about additional improvements at more sites. At our website, visitors can find a list of picnic shelters, campgrounds, fishing areas, and canoe and boat launches that are accessible for people with disabilities. The work isn't done. There's more we can do, but I know General Superintendent Arnold Randall and his staff have made accessibility a part of their focus on equity and inclusion. And I know they have programs and processes in place to continue to improve. I want to give special thanks to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, represented today by John Rogner, which provided funds for the new canoe launch through their Boat Access Area Development Program. I also want to thank the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, and of course President Kari Steele is with us, along with Commissioner Kim Dubuclet, which funded the environmentally friendly new parking lot at this site that you saw when you arrived. That's permeable paving. MWRD has been a great partner in investing in these porous paver lots, which help with stormwater management and ensure the water entering the river is cleaner here. I also want to recognize the staff of the Forest Preserves, from planning and development to conservation and experiential programming to landscape maintenance. It takes a lot of hard work to put on a ceremony like this, and we're grateful to you. Now I'd like to introduce Arnold Randall, General Superintendent of our Forest Preserves. Arnold.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Madam President. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome everybody to Schuth Grove, part of the Miller Meadow Preserve. With main entrances off of First Avenue and Roosevelt Road, this 300-acre complex is one of our Connecting People to Nature challenge sites and a great place to enjoy the outdoors here in central Cook County. Miller Meadow offers visitors a 1.7-mile paved loop trail around a tall grass prairie, a model airplane flying field, an off-leash dog area, and 8 picnic shelters available for events. This is one of our larger picnic permit sites in the district. This new canoe launch is a great nature-compatible amenity at this site. Getting out on the river is a fun and unique way to get exercise and experience nature in our highly developed county. And I'll tell you, when you're on the river, in a lot of parts of the forest preserves, you really feel like you're in Wisconsin or Michigan. You really lose sight of all the traffic and all the city noises and all that, and you see a lot of birds and you see a lot of really cool things on the river. I've even seen deer crossing the river in some of my kayaking experiences. This new launch is open for visitors every day of the year, so there are some really hardy kayakers and canoers who will get out here on very cold days as well, but certainly during the warmer months it's very popular. And it will be our spot for our programming team to lead kayaking events on the Des Plaines River for the public. Our Greater Maywood Paddling Program will also use this new launch for programming. This award-winning program provides leaders of organized groups with training on kayaking, use and care of kayak gear, and how to lead a kayak trip. Once certified, trained leaders can use our free kayak gear library, which has all the supplies needed for an organized group to go on a paddling trip. Since we began the Greater Maywood Paddling Program back in 2018, we've trained 20 partner organizations, from school clubs to outdoor enthusiasts. More than 2,000 people have participated in kayaking adventures, and about a third have been youth. With this launch, groups like these have another paddling adventure to explore. I want to point out that another important site improvement here at Schuth Grove, our new porous parking lot, which the President referenced. Permeable pavement like this is considered green infrastructure under the Clean Water Act because it filters out pollutants that contribute to water pollution. It reduces the runoff that contributes to flooding. It reduces the heat island effect and reduces or eliminates the need for de-icing in the winter that contributes to water quality. This is the third permeable pavement parking lot that we have in the forest preserves, with another one in the pipeline. I want to specifically thank President Kari, Steele, and the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District for partnering with us and providing funding for these upgrades. They absolutely align with our mission to be careful stewards of the natural land. And I also want to thank John Rogner and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, and I know his boss, Director Colleen Callahan's not here, but I had a chance to speak with her earlier in the week, or last week I should say, and I really appreciate the support that we get from the DNR. Thank you, John. We've worked closely with the DNR on a number of improvements in the preserves across Cook County, and your support is very much appreciated. And from our staff at the Forest Preserves, I want to thank Chris Slattery, Adnan Damari, Dan White, Aaron Cricks, and our whole planning and development department for their work on this launch, as well as Justin Mercer, who is the Central Region Program Coordinator in the Department of Conservation and Experiential Programming, and he heads up our paddling program, which I referenced earlier. Research tells us that being outdoors is good for everyone's mental and physical health. I know this new launch will be a great starting spot for untold hours of adventures on the Des Plaines River, so I'm pleased and proud to be with you all here today. Now I'd like to introduce Forest Preserve Commissioner Frank Aguilar.
Thank you, Arnold. Madam President Preckwinkle, Arnold, Randall, President Kari, Steele, and John Rogner, and you, the staff of the Forest Preserve. You know, we're very lucky to have, these recreational facilities in Cook County. Many people from all over the country, in fact, all over the world, just come here just to enjoy the nature that we have to offer here. And I'd like to thank, the leadership of Madam President Preckwinkle and the Forest Preserve for just making this happen. Just a little story. Last year, my brother invited me to go kayaking for the first time ever. So I'm looking forward to it next year, because when he pushed me off the kayak, the water started getting too close and sinking. So I went back, and maybe next year I'll take it up again. I just got to go to the gym and make sure I'm able to fit those kayaks. So I'm looking forward to enjoy kayaking, but not till next year. So I got to work on something. So thank you very much, and I look forward to enjoying the kayaking next year. Thank you. Next, I'm going to have a president from the Water Reclamation, Kari, Steele.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning.
My name is Kari Steele, and I'm your president at the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. I'm here today with my board mate, Kimberly Neely Dubuclet, Commissioner Kimberly Neely Dubuclet. And also we have a representative from Commissioner Davis's office here this afternoon. We thank you all for being here today. to celebrate the new Schuth Grove boat and kayak launch and parking lot. I thank President Tony Preckwinkle and the Cook County Board and the Forest Preserve of Cook County and Superintendent Arnold Randall for hosting us today. We value your commitment to stormwater management at a time when we are growing more accustomed to more than 100-year rain events and flooding concerns. You could have simply rolled out an asphalt lot, but our partners at the Forest Preserve embrace the environmental benefits of permeable pavements and how it can protect our water environment and mitigate flooding. I'm talking about the Schuth Grove parking lot that we parked in before we walked down here. This project fulfills many aspects of our mission and strategic plans at the MWRD, like working to mitigate flooding, increasing stormwater capacity via the promotion and installation of green infrastructure, protecting the quality of local waterways, encouraging new accessibility to water resources with the new Canoe kayak launch at the Des Plaines River, and inspiring community engagement and education for green infrastructure, while also protecting the region's water environment. We hold out an annual call for green infrastructure projects every year, and in 2019, the Forest Preserve of Cook County delivered plans for a project we could support and fund, and that's why the MWRD is here today. We estimate that the Schuth Grove parking lot green infrastructure will provide over 110,000 gallons of stormwater storage every time it rains. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. Without these systems in place, that is more than, of course, 110,000 gallons of water invading our forest preserve, filling our riverbanks, or flooding our communities. So, once again, I would just like to say we're happy to be here. I would also like to introduce my other board mate, Commissioner Mariana Spiropoulos. And I would like to congratulate everyone on completing this project. And of course, we thank all of you for your partnership. Next up, I would like to introduce Illinois Department of Natural Resources Assistant Director, John Rogner. Thank you. You guys have a great afternoon.
Well, thank you so much, President Steele, for that introduction. And I want to extend a special thanks today to the landowners here. We're sharing their success today. Thank you, President Preckwinkle, Commissioner Aguilar, and Superintendent Randall for inviting us to join in this celebration today. Director Callahan sends her deep regrets. She would like to have been here. It's one of those situations where she had to be in two places at once, and as we talked about who would be here, I'm pretty sure that we were both angling to be at this event here, because there's no place I would rather be, either of us, quite frankly, than out here today in this fall weather enjoying this kind of a success. Nowhere I'd rather be than right here, unless it's behind me on the river. That would be a place I might rather be, but that is why we're here, right? It's also a great pleasure to be with MWRD President Steele and her leadership at MWRD, what they have done over the past 40 years. And I've been here working in this area for 40 years and seen the water quality of all of our rivers, including the Des Plaines River, clean up just immensely as we approach those Clean Water Act goals of making our waters fishable and swimmable. I'll add canoeable and kayakable, and we're there. We're there. It's just a terrific success, and it makes this event even possible. As you all probably know, the Illinois DNR, like the Forest Preserves of Cook County, has a core mission in supporting quality outdoor recreation in Illinois. We do it on our own lands and waters, and we are privileged to be able to help others do it on their lands and waters. And that's why it's so gratifying to be able to connect with Forest Preserves of Cook County as a key partner for us, with us in our shared mission. And it's particularly gratifying to be able to support this outdoor recreation in our state's metropolitan areas, where being out in nature is in such high demand. We all learned a lot by living through the pandemic, one of which is that nature is tonic for all of us. Many people had to relearn, and some learned for the first time how privileged we are in this region to have so much wild open space that we refer to as Chicago wilderness. And Arnold, you knew I was going to get that reference in there. We have access to nature here that, ironically, is sometimes in short supply in other parts of rural Illinois where so much land is dedicated to growing our food. Extraordinarily important, but there are trade-offs there. This project is personal to me because I'm an avid paddler myself. I've been lucky enough to have paddled some of the wild rivers in North America, in Alaska, Canada, northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Missouri, and all over. But places like those are hard to get to, depending on where you live. There's nothing better than to be able to pull the canoe or kayak down from your garage and in 45 minutes be on waters like this. And when you are on the water and between the banks, you see nothing but wild nature. It's wilderness just close to home, and that's so extraordinary. There's no better opportunity to introduce family and friends to this paddling pastime than on our local streams. A launch like this removes one of the principal barriers, and that's access to these waters for new paddlers, and it launches them on a sport that will serve them for a lifetime. So congratulations on completing this project. It's a shared accomplishment. Your thanks will be the many parked cars with canoe racks on top, and people who will remember the experience and understand better the many important functions of government. And this is a great example of two levels of government working collaboratively on a shared mission to accomplish good things for the people of Illinois, and that's extraordinary. They will see this as a good return on their investment. So thank you so much again for inviting the Illinois DNR to be able to share in your accomplishment. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. We're grateful. Referring back to John Rogner's comments, you know, I always say there are 102 counties in Illinois, and the most ecologically diverse is also the most densely populated, and that's us, Cook County. So, questions? All right, good.
Let's get set up to cut the ribbon.
Thank you.